Awakening any percent glitchless run. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm EDL666, but generally I just go with EDL. But you can say the numbers too if you want to. I'm going to be running Link's Awakening glitchless. I've been running this game for almost a year, 4 times a week, every week. And this is like the last one that I do before I take a break because, well, that's a long time. And I'm accompanied by Meeks.
Hello.
Meeks.
I'm SwordyMeeks.
You continue.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing commentary, so we're doing commentary together.
Yeah, Meeks will help me keep the chat up and fill when I can't do it because I'm really nervous. And this game requires a lot of focus for glitches, mostly, but doesn't mean that it does it for others, but the movement is extremely precise. So, yeah, we're gonna just jump into it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go. So, if y'all are familiar with Link's Awakening for the Game Boy, this is a remake from 2019 now. This game is almost 3 years old. This is glitchless, so as it implies, we won't be doing any glitches, and we will be focusing mainly on just really good movement, which is actually really hard for this game. So
there's a small apostrophe to the no glitches. Some people might contest what is a glitch and what isn't. We vote as a community on what is and what isn't. So you may see some stuff that you may think is definitely not intended, and it's probably not intended. But we voted together that it was intended, like every physics are working intended, but to produce a result that isn't. And it looks funky. More on that later.
So opening up here, we woke up we were out on the ocean with Link, and he got shipwrecked in a storm. Woke up on an island, and someone named Marin woke us up, who looks, as the game says, looks like Zelda, but doesn't actually look like Zelda.
No, it's just she says, "Who's Zelda?" I'm Marin. And I would ask you, Chad, the same thing. Who's Zelda, by the way? The Zelda isn't the name of the game, but I haven't seen Zelda yet, and I've been running this since it came out.
Yeah, I haven't found Zelda yet either in this game.
You let me know if you know who Zelda is.
But yeah, we went to the beach and we found our sword, and this owl was like, "Hey, if you want to leave the island, you gotta collect the instruments of the sirens, I believe they're called." So we're going to go do that. So one thing you will notice off the bat is we are not running the game in English. And unlike most speedrun games where you end up using like Japanese or Chinese that tends to have shorter characters, this game is a bit different in that all the characters show up instantly when you press the, I believe it's the B button. However, for some reason, German has less text boxes. For some reason, they decided to...
Most text boxes in German have like 3 lines of jam-packed text, whereas Japanese only has 1 in most text boxes, so that might give you an idea of why German ends up pulling ahead in terms of less text boxes.
So so we run the game in German, and if you're one of us speedrunners, you end up using German all the time on your Switch, and then you end up taking Duolingo courses to learn more German, and
or not, and then you just launch your game, and then you're like, "Oh my god, it's a German," and then you need to reboot your Switch because you don't understand German.
So here we're needing to get through the mysterious forest, basically the Lost Woods, for this game. and we had to pick up a mushroom that we're going to turn into magic powder, and then we get to use it on a tanuki who's preventing us from progressing in the forest. And
yeah, the tanuki cast a spell that teleports you elsewhere. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. We probably have time for one donation already.
yeah.
Absolutely. I have a donation from Solus P Gamer that says, "Hey EDL, I'm so happy and proud to see you on Flame Fatale Speedrunning LAS. You have worked so hard to be where you are today. However, I can't resist to give you a little challenge. If you can WR on this run, I'll be giving an additional $100. No pressure. Donation goes to Save Marin. Good luck. Wink." No pressure.
No pressure. I told Solus before Solus is one of my best friends, IRL. I told him earlier today, it's incredibly unlikely I can double UR. Because I need a little more, I need to increase my skill a little bit more. There's a couple of strats that I haven't learned yet that I would need to get. In my opinion, it's not completely impossible, but I would say with live carpentry and everything and the stress and everything, I would get my hopes up on the world record. I could get my hopes up on a 139, which is a really, really impressive time. But I don't know about a world record. But I'm trying my best. I always do. I always try my best.
So we put the magic powder on that tanuki, and so I guess real quick before that. So this is the trendy game.
I said no.
This is the trendy game, and if you play the original, this trendy game is a lot more difficult in this game. But we have to get this Yoshi doll here, and this is actually a common reset point for speedruns because of what just happened to EDL there. Sometimes Yoshi does not want to agree with us, and Yoshi falls out of the claw. So we have to. Sometimes there's always a little bit of an element of luck to it.
I think I'm gonna leave the trendy game reset.
Yeah, be a good place to reset it.
I'm gonna need to get extra rupees. It's okay though. It works. It works. Backup plans are planned. They're just
Yeah.
Come on, Yoshi. Obviously, on live marathon, you cannot have Yoshi fall out of the claw just one time.
So something the astute viewer may have noticed, who is not familiar with this game, is why is there a Yoshi doll in a Zelda game? And did we see a chain chomp earlier in the woods? And the answer is yes. The original game was made a very long time ago. I forget how long ago now. Back when Nintendo was a little bit more loose with putting whatever they wanted into their games. And this game was actually developed on the side after Link to the Past. And they just kind of threw in a bunch of Mario enemies and characters. Terran looks kind of like Mario, and there's another character who looks kind of like Luigi. And there's Marin, who we have an incentive to save later. And there's a chain chomp in this game.
There's actually 3.
Yeah, and there's even a Kirby in this game. We won't see Kirby, but,
unfortunately.
Yeah, there's all sorts of fun little Easter eggs in this game. But yes, the orange-haired girl back there in the village who rescued us off the beach is Marin, and she's kind of the I guess like the main like side character in the game. The plot kind of revolves around a bit. And we get to see her a lot, and we have an opportunity to rescue her later in the game if the incentive is met.
Oh yeah, I need to say something before I forget. It's not going to be right now, but it's somewhat important. I want to commit before I forget. I want to say right now I need Meeks or Tuzzle or or chat to help me. You may be familiar with the concept of bunking with Pegasus boots in Zelda games. We don't have Pegasus boots right now, but I want to commit. I'm gonna donate $5 for every time that I bunk, including all the times that are intentional and all the times where you bonk on the non-collision of bushes. That's weird, but yeah, if you could help me keep track of how many times I bonk on anything with the boots, that's gonna be later. But yeah,
I'll start an official bonk counter here then.
I keep track of how much money I need to donate.
Oh, that's a really nice room there. So yeah, this is the first dungeon. It's not a whole lot about this dungeon. Here's some Goombas. The main item of interest in this dungeon is we get the Rock's Feather, which lets Link jump like Mario, which is kind of unique. This actually may be a good place for a donation or two, unless you have something, EDL.
No, not at the moment.
Absolutely. I also would like to say that we have a $10 donation from Happy Bear that says, if we don't save Marin, I will faint on my daybed.
On your what?
So daybed.
Okay.
You know, chat, I've heard the best time for a route divergence is before Dungeon 3, which is about 30 minutes into this run. So if you want to make the math easier for the runner, get those donations in to save Marin now. I also have a $25 donation from Moon Cheese, which says, EDL, your love and dedication for this game is so inspiring, and I'm incredibly proud to see you here sharing this love with everyone here and for such a worthy cause. Also, can we get a florp on nose this run? Winky face?
That depends on if we save Marin or not. If we don't, then yes. If we do, then maybe not, because finishing the 7th dungeon means that we don't get floored during the Total Rock fight. If you don't know about that, don't worry. Thank you, Munchies. Appreciate it.
Coming up here
yeah,
is...
so...
Okay.
Yeah, go. No, go.
I was gonna say, this is Rolling Bones, our first little mini boss. It was very annoying, but ideally you just kind of get it in the corner and hit it a bunch. And then shortly after...
Here is a Zelda fan's favorite, quote-unquote favorite. You may know as Moldorm. And just like A Link to the Past, if you've seen that, you can knock us down in a separate room and it resets the fight. It's very good.
And it totally also is not a hamburger. I know it looks like a bunch of hamburgers, but it is in fact a worm.
Fortunately for us, it's unlike A Link to the Past. This is the first boss, so it's actually a lot easier. But it does happen. Sometimes I do get knocked down. It's very rare, but it happens. So it just moves randomly. So sometimes you can't do anything. It just gets you stuck between like the door, the wall, or I don't know. It's random, and you're just stuck. He has this weird collision that you can't even jump over. He's like a giant moving wall of you shall not pass. So he did look like a big deal right now, but he's sometimes a very big problem if you're trying to go for a PB. I don't really have good... Oh yeah, I can say something here. I don't know if you paid attention, but before we came here, you know, if you remember the Yoshi doll, because we didn't say why we needed the Yoshi doll. I traded that for a ribbon, then I traded that for a can of dog food, and now I'm on my way to give the can of dog food to someone. And all of that is so that we can progress further later to get a passageway open. There you go, just chow down the whole middle can. Delicious. And we get bananas, which, you know, depending on your preference, might be better than dog food in a can. Especially if you don't have a can opener. But also, maybe you don't like dog food, that's probably understandable.
Yes, the training quests makes a lot of sense in this game.
No, but we skip most of it, fortunately.
Fortunately, yes.
So you have kids here speaking a very fast German. They probably say something important, but the game doesn't finish, and it says it's probably faster if you go check for yourself. I do not make that up, by the way. It's actually they stop the dialogue of the kids. They say it's probably faster if you just go check for yourself what's happening.
Might be fast. I mean, we are speedrunners, so you know, the less time we spend talking to characters is the best. But
unless we save Marion, because that's for a great cause.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, so basically what happened is that chain chomp we saw earlier, whose name Bow Wow in English or Comet in German, whichever you want to go with, he got kidnapped by the Modeling King. So we're going to go rescue Bow Wow. So the boss coming up here is a little bit tricky. Yeah. So we're gonna be a little bit quiet here for this boss, so y'all can focus.
Yeah, this boss is
excellent.
Very weird iframes, and you know you can stun lock him, and it kind of stops the countdown on his iframes or something. It's weird.
It's a strange timing, so you can't just swing haphazardly and hit it, so you have to kind of have a rhythm to it, and some runners actually use a metronome for it, but I've kind of just developed the feel for it, which is probably the worst way to do it.
I just YOLO and sometimes miss because, you know, no technique means that I don't always get it.
So we have Bow Wow now. We have a new chain chomp pet.
I have the best weapon in the game now.
Yeah.
You might think that this is really OP to get this early. You're right. More on that later.
Bow Wow just eats enemies. So one thing I would want to mention while we're doing it, I'm not sure, EDL, if you're doing it this early or not, but we do follow some level of what we call kill counts in this particular category, where we count the number of monsters that we kill, and the reason for that is there are power-up drops in this game, kind of like Zelda 1. One is the Guardian Acorn, which we never want, ever, and the other is the Piece of Power, which increases our
time loss.
Yes, and Piece of Power increases our attack and speed, and most of the time it takes for you to go through the little cutscene to pick up the Piece of Power and use it, it kind of balances out. It doesn't really save you any time, but there are a couple instances in the game where it actually saves you a good fair amount of time. Excuse me. And so coming up later in the run, we'll discuss a bit more about what those kill counts are. So if you see EDL like killing some things and then trying to avoid killing other things, you kind of know what's going on, as we're kind of keeping that kill count.
Yeah, the kill count is a little tight in the early game. What we don't want to see, I can tell you that right now, what we don't want to see is a Piece of Power in this dungeon. Absolutely don't want to see that.
So this is the Hinox. If you've ever seen an 80% run of this game, or 100%, Hinoxes do a lot of shenanigans. that break the game, but we don't do that in glitchless. We just kill it and move on.
We kill it very fast by jumping and slashing midair. We can slash the sword extremely quickly while jumping. It's very, very useful.
And there were a couple more boos from Mario. Again,
The only room with booze in it. It's the only room with booze in it.
Yep.
It's just the only time you see them.
So we just got the
Oh, I
power
need
bracelet.
rupees.
Oh yeah,
Almost
you do.
forgot.
Perfect. We use those to buy some bombs later.
This was I had to retry on Yoshi.
But yeah, we got the power bracelet. Lets us pick up stuff and throw it.
Okay, because
So,
before
upcoming-
it gives plants and pots and stuff, you can't pick those up.
Yeah.
You need the bracelet for that.
So this room is where we get the boss key, and you have to
Oh.
kill the monsters in a specific order. First with the Pole's voice there, and then the key.
Oh, I got the trade.
Nice. But yeah, sometimes this room gives trouble because the hitbox around the blocks don't always agree with the pots, and sometimes you think a pot will hit the Pole's voice and then it doesn't, and you're like, why?
Or the key starts flying around the Pole's voice,
Or that.
and then
So
it's very fun.
all kinds of fun
sometimes. I probably have time for like 5 donations easy now because the boss is an auto scroller.
Great. We have a $100 donation from Braylon. No comment, but thank you so much for your donation. We have a $25 from Mike the Own Star, which says, for the goodest doggo. Thank you for donating towards the doggo pat. We also have a $150 from Vacuum, which reads, it's me, Alrira. I don't know who Zelda is, but isn't there someone waiting for you on the bridge? So just a reminder,
Potentially.
we have the Save Marin incentive open. It's currently at $2,180 of $3,500 met. I see those donations coming in. You all are doing a great job, so keep those coming in. We also have a few bid war incentives open for Pokemon Legends Arceus, name the main character. Currently the lead is Trans Rights with $50 and Arceus for $25. And chat, you probably noticed that I say Arceus, not Arceus. Which one is correct? Donate at me with your hot take. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
so this is the genie boss. This is the
So nice.
this is
You
this is
do
not the
something
fun
and
boss.
then you wait, and then you do something and then you wait, and then he talks to you, and then there's some RNG.
The trickiest part is this last little bit here. There's a bit of an audio cue, and you attack the genie that's furthest away from you. But yeah, that fight's just a lot of waiting. And any percent, we don't do that fight at all. And then an any percent no Hinox warp. We also don't do the fight, but we have like a little bit. Well, we partially do the fight.
We let the genie pretend that we come in to the fight, and then we nope out of the room by flipping out the door. It's kind of really funny. And then the genie just gives up. He just stands there in the middle of the room doing nothing.
We've tried really hard as a community to not fight the genie. So yeah, that was Dungeon 2. You go ahead, EDL.
I don't actually have anything to do. I just I sometimes accidentally vocalize, which is not something you usually hear on my stream because I have a bunch of noise canceling, extra hard. But yeah, don't worry.
There was Dompe. who is not in the original Link's Awakening, but they put him in this remake. But we don't mess with him in this category at least.
You mess with him in 100% a lot though. There's a whole 40-something minutes of the 100% run where you're just talking with Dampé.
Yeah.
Great fun.
But we also opened up a warp there earlier too, which will be recorded for later.
Remember when I said that we obtained the strongest weapon in the game? Well, it's now time to say bye to the strongest weapon in the game because we're gonna return Barrel to their owner.
And
you might be wondering, why do we do that? Because that sounds not great and like a detour. And you're right. You're absolutely correct. The problem is, to progress, we need to, if you remember the banana that we got earlier, we need to give the banana to a monkey. And a monkey, well, Bow Wow eats monkeys, and the monkey doesn't appreciate that at all, so you can't actually talk to the monkey with Bow Wow. And so we have to turn in Bow Wow.
EDL, you just stole that shovel.
What?
You thief!
Nah.
You thief! You need to pay for your crimes, EDL. Sorry.
I thought I could win that fight this time. I had it. I've been trying to win this fight for 3 years. Never win.
Shopkeeper is OP.
So yeah, since the original, there's the 3 versions of Link's Awakening, you can steal from the shop. And when you do that, the shopkeeper kills you as soon as you come back into the shop. The combined price of shovel and bow is over 1,000 rupees, so you may understand why we don't bother to win that. It takes a bit to gather such a large amount.
Yeah, so
stealing is a lot faster.
Yeah, we take our punishment from the shopkeeper, and the game also will refer to us as thief from now on.
Including Marion.
There. Yes, even Marin is like, hey thief! And we'll never let you forget your sins. So this is the monkey EDL is talking about. If you have Bow Wow with you, Kiki won't talk to you. And
yeah, it'd just be really mad that Bow Wow is there.
So you might be wondering what we're doing now. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why don't you go do that? Say it a bit. I can focus on actually doing it right.
Oh, okay. So this is Candlelit Castle. And you might be wondering what we're doing here, what is even going on. Typically, you talk to a guy named Richard first before coming here, who's actually a character from an old Game Boy game called for whom the bell tolls, or the frog tolls, something like that. I forget the title now. But unfortunately, that game was never released in the US, but he is like, hey, I used to live in this castle, and I used to have these 5 golden leaves, and then some of these knights came in, these dark nuts, and kicked me out, and took my leaves. Can you go collect my leaves, and I'll help you out? So we came in here, and
before talking to him.
Yeah. So we don't need to wait on him.
Maybe a little bit later.
Yeah. So ideally, we want to pick up a piece of power here for the little mini boss in this, I guess, mini dungeon.
Ah, there we go.
There it is. So this is our first piece of power that we intentionally pick up, and as I mentioned before, it lets us go faster and do more damage. And we have like a little mini boss coming up here where that benefit really helps.
Yeah, I screwed that up really bad. I don't think it's gonna help. It's gonna run out.
We'll see. It might get you a few hits in. But
no, I don't think so. But
that wall is really tricky there.
The positioning to get that shot is maybe like 2 pixels 3, I don't know. Very, very precise.
Something like that. That's what makes this run like really interesting. With not having
I actually made it inside.
You got it.
Nice.
You got it. Nice. Yeah, normally you have to do like 10 hits, I think.
Yeah, without piece of power, this guy takes 10 sword hits, and that's why we like to have it. It's significantly shorter.
But yeah, one of the things that makes glitchless really interesting is there are a lot of instances in this run that are you have like very, very specific places you need to stand, very specific movements you have to make, and sometimes it's just like a matter of a few pixels off. And like that back in Canalet, there is one case of that where you just have to kind of stand in the perfect spot. So you're always having to think ahead and make adjustments of where you're supposed to be, and you know that's can be the difference of over the course of a run of several minutes of just having really good precise movement.
Yeah, here's Richard, by the way, so he's gonna give us the quest of getting the leaves, and then we already have them, so we just turn it in immediately.
Yep. He is a fan of frogs, which I am too, so I think he's kind of an awesome guy. But
there's so much love coming in for this run. Do I have a moment?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So we have $5 from Earth Stained, who says, well, it's 3 heart containers, I believe. Thank you so much for the donation. There is $25 from Miss Missa, loving this year's event and loving watching EDL crush one of my favorite Zelda games. Now let's save Marin. So we're just under $1,300 from meeting that incentive, and I like cute cutscenes, so let's get that cutscene. We also have...
This is Dungeon 3, by the way, so if you can speed run a bit harder, chat, that'd be fantastic. I would appreciate it.
We also have $250 from Coding Hero, longtime GDQ watcher, first-time donator, and had to donate to Zelda, one of my childhood favorites. Thank you all so much for your donations.
If you have more, you can say another one.
Oh, I've got more. I have a $50 donation from Max. You have made such incredible progress as a speedrunner. Wishing you the best of lucks. P.S. Perhaps the real Zelda were the friends we made along the way.
Aw. Okay, that's not a good pattern.
Sometimes that stall post.
Thank you so much, Max. I appreciate that. Max is a really long-time friend of mine. He's been supporting me on Twitch basically ever since I got affiliate. I think before I got affiliate, I even he was just letting me stream from his house at some point. Oh yeah, no, really long time supporter of mine.
That's really awesome. So yeah, so this is Dungeon 3, which in English is called Key Cavern. In German, it's called, I believe, Devil's House, which is a cooler name.
Very strange name too.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit, but it sounds cool. The theme of this dungeon is to collect a bunch of keys. And this is also probably a good place for some donations, because this boss is just a lot of waiting. If you happen to have any. But the main goal here is just to feed bombs and
clean. There's a nice. Yeah, coming up here we have the Pegasus boots I was talking about related to me bonking and giving more money. So you may have noticed that this was so much a speed run and more like a speed walk. Well, no more. More running now. A lot more. Since we like to go fast, these we'll use them a lot. Almost like everywhere. They are extremely difficult to control, so we don't use them everywhere. But yeah, we do use them a lot.
Yep. One thing we're doing too in this run that is always weighing in the back of the mind is we are managing trying to manage our arrow count.
Yeah, which is pretty bad right now.
it's a little bit rough, but you're good. You're going good. But there's a boss towards the end of the run that goes down a lot faster if you're able to just shoot a lot of arrows at it. And trying to save as many arrows as possible for that boss is like just kind of like a constant concern. So again, one of the little details in this run where it's like, gotta keep track of it.
But no worries. Even if I mess up super bad, it doesn't mean we can't kill the boss. It just means we lose a little bit of time.
Yes, true.
Oh, I was on it. Okay. But yeah, if you have another donation or two, that'd be good right now.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Candy Bellcat. No comment, but thank you so much for the donation. We also have $5 from Air Angel. It says, GLHF EDL. This game will always be one of my favorites. I know you'll do great today. Hi, cute chat. Please save Marin.
Thank you so much, Air Angel.
We also have an anonymous $163 that says trans rights. Thank you so much for your donation.
Trans rights.
Trans rights. And if it's any help for the incentive, I actually named my cat after Marin. Her name is Marin. So if you don't want to disappoint my cat,
that is one bonk, by the way.
That is one bonk.
Intended bonk. You have to bonk to make the bus fall down from the screen, the ceiling. I mean, but that still counts.
Chat, definitely do not disappoint the cat. Get those donations in for saving Marin.
Nice. This fight is usually pretty simple. Sometimes it'll trip you up, but and sometimes you get the very rare pattern where you can kill it in one cycle. But I've only had that happen once.
I've had that happen a couple times, but you need to. It's 50% chance which half is gonna jump first, and you need the one that you're not going for first to be the one that jumps second, and it needs to wait the maximum possible amount of time before jumping, which doesn't always happen. You need to jump extremely early, which is the best scenario if it doesn't wait the longest possible amount of time. So yeah, now, like I said, we got the boots, so starting now, you'll see that I'm dashing a lot everywhere, and I'm jumping as well a lot. Try to keep up, I guess, or enjoy the zoom in.
Yep.
Oh, that's another one.
That bush is always mean there.
And sometimes you don't bonk on that bush. Sometimes you bonk on the bush. Nobody knows.
I just try to not let it. I just try to avoid it completely nowadays. There is like a very few pixels there in that room that if you line up correct, you can dash straight to the right without hitting without either falling in the water or without hitting the mob there, the little fish enemy. And
I was a little too low. Like maybe 1 pixel too low.
It's one of those like little tiny optimizations that probably only saves like a few frames to do.
No, I think it saves a solid like 1 second.
Is it that much? Oh wow.
Yeah, but you know, you need to get it perfectly. It's like
so here we're going to
a combination of stopping to jump over and the wind up of dashing again. And bad RNG with this enemy at top of the ladder. That's a cool jump there, by the way. That's a recent find this year. Oh, I forgot to go kill that mole. That's funny.
Yeah, you need to go. I think you can go to the warp.
I need. Well, that's an interesting mess up on my part. Oh, that's funny. That's a very different route. I'm improvising now. Good.
That's all right.
I forgot a significant part of, you know, having a date with Marin. Fitting for my first marathon in front of thousands of people. Don't worry.
So, Dream Shrine here is interesting. Spoilers for a game that's like almost 30 years old. You're actually inside of a dream. You're inside the dream of the windfish. And then you also go into the Dream Shrine and go to sleep and have a dream in the Dream Shrine where you're able to get the ocarina here and take it with you outside of the dream back into the other dream.
Link's Awakening did at first. It's not Inception.
Christopher Nolan ripped off this movie. I mean, this video game. That all makes perfect sense as long as you don't think about it.
It's a dream.
But this is actually the first Zelda game that has the ocarina in it that they actually call an ocarina. It's technically in Link to the Past, but they call it the flute. Then this game they call it an ocarina. And here we get to spend some quality time with Marin. And we will hope for good seagull RNG, which is critical.
This very, very cute moment here. Where Marin tells us about her dream of becoming a seagull so she can fly over the ocean and see what's beyond, you know, the little island.
Maybe a good time for a couple donations.
Absolutely. I have $25 from Anonymous, no comment, but thank you so much. I have $25 from so_fee, which reads, been looking forward to the next few runs. Good luck to all. I also have $25 from Save Marin. You know what all these donations also have in common, chat? They each donated $25, which makes them eligible for all of today's prizes. And be sure to select a bid war or bonus incentive when donating. Let's add even more fun to Flame Fatales and Save Marin.
Save Marin. Look at her. So we're on a date with Marin now.
Oh, right. I have extra work now.
And there's actually a lot of neat stuff you can do with her while she's following you. You can go back to Maid
but we're
Village.
doing none of that.
Yeah. Instead, we're going to cut our date short and just go over here and have her sing to the walrus to wake him up.
The original Snorlax. Link's Awakening did it first.
True. He needs a pokey flute. Just get Marin to sing. Sploosh. And don't worry, the walrus is fine. You can actually come back later and he'll make walrus noises at you. So up here is probably one of the hardest bosses in the game. So we'll give EDL some concentration time here.
Yeah. I am... No. I'm just gonna go slow. Because I'm already really low on arrows. And I really messed that up. Nemo is a lot of iframes if you hit it with the sword for some reason. So that's why we normally prefer bomb arrows, because that doesn't happen. But, yeah, if I had not messed up, maybe I would have been willing to go a bit harder, but yeah, I did miss the first shot. And I'm way too low on arrows. I still need some before the boss that we talked about, and then we're gonna get some refills and we'll be fine, but a little tight right now.
Yep. Yeah, that boss is a toughie.
What a really nice moment of Marin singing. Normally the last time we have an interaction with Marin here, unless we save Marin. Speaking of saving Marin, where are we at on that?
We are currently sitting at $2,360 of $3,500. There are so many donations coming in to save Marin. Let's not make this the last time we see Marin in this game.
Chat, you're lucky that I messed up and went... Like, I got mixed up in the route and went to, you know, the keyhole that I'm going to after getting the key here. And I was forced to get the warp. So we could actually extend with no penalty, with no extra penalty, because I already took the penalty of you know, getting the warp and stuff. We could extend the duration easy for this incentive to after dungeon 6, I think.
Yep.
Where there's no other route changes. The only thing I need to be wary about is this warp here that I already got. So, yeah. We have more time for people to donate. But we are going fast now, so get them donations in.
Well, if we're going fast, maybe we need to start a $5 train to get us to save Marin here. Because we have a whole bunch of $5 donations coming in about saving Marin.
I like the sound of that.
We have a $5 anonymous donation that says, for Marin. We also have another $5 donation from Carolyn Design that says, save Marin, I gotta see this. We also have a $5 donation from Anonymous, no comment, but I know it's thinking save Marin. We are just about $1,000 away from that incentive, so everyone get your tickets to the Marin train now.
Alright, this is Dungeon 4. I have really low health for this. This is probably the first trick where some people might think that this looks very fishy and maybe potentially look like it's a glitch. It's definitely not intended. But, Meeks, if you want to start going on explaining that while I focus here, that'd be great.
Yeah, so, basically, we have a, crawl section there that EDL just did a dash jump over that normally you can't get to the north part of that room until you go down through the south part and do it the way that the devs intended. However, we can use a combination of a bomb, some good timing, and a dash jump to basically maneuver our way into the southern portion of this room here. And that lets us jump right away to the north, and it lets us skip a huge part of the dungeon. So what makes it a bit fishy, if you look at it and you're like, this is glitchless. There's no glitches in glitchless. This is technically what we consider not a glitch. You're not doing anything that is sending yourself... Yeah, we'll toss that one. You're not doing anything that is technically out of bounds. You're not putting the bomb out of bounds. You're not putting Link out of bounds. You're just using internal physics for the game, and it lets us just kind of jump that gap. It is also a bit of a difficult trick, because you do have to get the timing just right. So
it does save an entire minute, so it's always worth doing no matter how many times you fail it.
Yes. I don't even know how to do the southern portion of the dungeon anymore. I just always...
I do, because I was doing this before we found it.
But, and there you go. So, yeah, wait, not a glitch. And we all vote on it as a community.
I would say the only really weird part is where the bomb is. We do toss the bomb like out of bounds, but we can do that no problem several places in the game, so it was not ruled as weird that we can do that.
Yeah. Oh, I love your strategy for that.
Yeah, I like this strat because it's... I find it more consistent to just let him go. And then just bank on... I have no idea when the piece of power was, by the way. I think we're a little screwed on that. The weird detour that I took to get the warp really tripped me up.
We'll be alright. We'll get it when we get it. So we have the flippers now, so we can swim, and we're going to get Mambo's Mambo, which is one of the best songs in the game, but... might be a good time for some donations. Oh, we have a fish singos.
Absolutely. We have some people buying multiple tickets to the Marin train. We have Umrog T-Burn with $25. Let's save Marin. We also have $25 from Gizmo. Can we get Marin? This could be our big chance. We also have from Sri Raj, $25. Here's 25 rupees towards not leaving Marin hanging. Thank you all so much for your donations.
Yeah, now we have Mambo's Mambo. Mambo's Mambo is very important in this version because in the remake, not only they added more warp points on the map, but they also made it so you could use Mambo's Mambo to warp to any warp point on the map. In the Game Boy versions, it only warped you to Mambo Spawn. That's it. That's one specific location.
Yeah. Oh, so something you may have noticed is we didn't actually beat Dungeon 4. We didn't fight the boss there. We kind of got the flippers and left. And the reason for that is when you beat Dungeon 4, you activate or trigger a side quest where this ghost comes out and starts following you. And you have to take the ghost to its house and then back to its grave later. And it's just like a really long side quest. And it won't let you enter any dungeons while the ghost is following you. So we don't want to mess with any of that. All that is slow. So what we do is we just don't beat...
Meeks, do you mind? Sorry, I need to do count math right now. Because that was the piece of power there. 9, 10... 11? Yeah, 11, I think. Okay, I'm good. Sorry about the interruption.
No, you're fine. Oh, nice. And this is the Armos fight, which has the worst hitbox in the game. It's even
this boss has the worst iframes of any boss of any video game I've ever played. It's so unintuitive. And then we just crush it, and the speedrun is pretty good.
Yeah, even casually, that boss gave me trouble. But if you time your arrow shots just right, everything goes smoothly. So now we're going to D5, which is Catfish's Mall, and this is where all of our hopefully all of our piece of power counting will come to give us some benefit.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna not talk because this math is really tripping me up right now. I can do it. I'm confident I can, but I'm gonna probably be silent up until we get the piece of power almost at the end of the dungeon. I'll let Meeks take the lead here.
Alrighty. First part of this dungeon is actually pretty straightforward. Just kind of killing some mobs and going on. It's actually maybe a good spot for a couple donations.
I would actually like to jump in and say that we have currently raised $72,000, which means that we're only $8,000 away from our milestone incentive, which is the bonus game, Elden Ring Any Percent. We're also just about $750 away from saving Marin. We've got a $5 donation from Heldon Subret, which says, joining the Save Marin train. Choo choo! We also have someone following along for the box. Alien Crustacean donates $5. $5 for the first bonk.
Awesome. So upcoming here we have a
well, I did bonk twice, so go for it.
Cool. I'm just saying. Gotcha. So we got a mini boss here, known as Master Stalfos, sometimes lovingly referred to as Papyrus. And this dungeon's a little bit unique in that we actually fight this mini boss 4 times. So this is actually the first time. And he has stolen the dungeon item for this game. If you open up that chest that EDL just ran past, you'll actually have like a note inside of it, and Master Stalfos is like, "Ha! I stole the hook shot. You can't have it." So we got to go track him down throughout the dungeon and beat him up here, and definitely one of the. I always actually just really love this boss because you kind of time your bombs and your sword slashes and in the correct way, and it just goes really fast and smooth, and it's always
it's really punishing to master though, because you may blow yourself up with your bombs that do 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, I've blown myself up a couple times. But this also might be a good spot for a couple more donations.
Absolutely. We have lots coming in for the Save Marin train. We have Saint with a $100 donation. I'll cover a few people's tickets. After all, isn't Frame Fatales all about lifting up women? We also have a $150 donation from Save Marin. No comment, but thank you so much. Also, Meeks, can you let us know how long we have left with the Save Marin incentive so chat knows?
Yes, I believe we have until about halfway through Dungeon 7, so we have this dungeon, one more dungeon, and so that will probably be in the next, I want to say 15 minutes? 15 to 20 minutes? I'm not quite sure the exact time. It's coming up close. It's coming up
15 minutes. Get those tickets in. We have about $750 to go. I know you can do it.
There we go. Well, we got our hook shot. Again, this is a lot of fun in any percent runs. We actually have a cool glitch called hook shot rocket, where we get on top of the hook shot and it flies us to the instrument, and it's a lot of fun. But we unfortunately don't get to do that in glitchless, so we got to go get the boss key now, and then go to the boss room with that. But hookshot's actually a pretty interesting item in this game. It is actually some of the fastest movement in the game. If you're able to hookshot across an entire room in like a straight line, it's actually probably the fastest movement, I think. Unfortunately, we don't always have an opportunity to do that, but we do try our best to line things up. So, getting pretty close to the boss here, so I don't want to interrupt EDL's thinking here too much. Maybe a good time for just a couple more donations.
Absolutely. We're getting ever so close to that Save Marin incentive. We're only about $535 away right now. We have a $75 from Venkalos, which reads...
Sorry, the piece of power just dropped. I missed it. I miscounted. It's okay. We're good. Continue
okay.
with the donations.
We have a $75 donation from Venkalos, which says, "Love Frame Fatales, and I hope we can live out my childhood dream of saving Marin." We also have a $25 from Anonymous, no comment, but thank you so much. And we also have a $25 donation from Ryan, no comment, but thank you as well so much for your donation.
All right. So, yeah, unfortunately we didn't get the piece of power. Piece of power saves a pretty significant amount of time in this boss fight, but
it can save us some really infuriating RNG.
Yeah, but we'll just have to deal with it. But there's actually, even if you do the piece of power routing and get it right before the boss fight, there's actually I believe a 25% chance that you get a bad pattern at the start of this fight, which can also mess you up. But basically, we just come in here and we hookshot the worm, which is called Schleimal in German, which sounds just really cool. And we do that. One thing you also may have noticed right before this boss room was we got across the pit with the hook shot without having to go a long route through the dungeon to get over there. This is the RNG. You may be wondering how we did that. It's actually a technique called angle skewing. When you jump in this game, you can slowly rotate your control stick and make Link point in a direction that isn't one of the default 8 directions that he normally moves in. And again, it's something that's technically not a glitch. It's not a...
That's just something that happens. It happens if you get hit by something. It happens when you pick up a rock. It happens... You skew your angle all the time, and then you can preserve it just by holding your sword out.
Yeah.
And so we skew using the feather, but there's plenty of methods to do it.
Yeah. So we lovingly abuse that to to get into some places faster. So we did Dungeon 5 now, so on to Dungeon 6. So this is kind of the this is the trial of the run. This is the one that will sometimes make or break your run. Is probably the most technical dungeon that just requires a lot of really tight movement. It's really easy to die in a number of places. Yeah, it's a little bit of a trial by fire. But
I'd just like to jump in real quick to say that we've actually made the incentive to save Marin. We've had a whole bunch of donations just come in right now that I'd love to share with you all.
Yes,
that is so wonderful. Just give us a bunch.
Absolutely. We have a $200 donation from Darius Monk. No comment, but thank you so much for that donation. We have a $500 donation from Blue Lantern, which just reads, "Save Marin." We also have a $20 donation from Yoshi, which says, "Yoshi votes to save Marin." And another $5 donation from Alien Crustration, which says, "Second boss, bonk, plus, gotta save Marin." Really great job, chat, on meeting that incentive. I cannot wait to save Marin. I'm so excited to see this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yay, we get to save
Marin. Good job on reaching that. Also, I'm glad we get to save Marin.
Yeah, that room always gives me
that room is a little scary. That room is scary.
I have ended a few runs in that room.
Oh yeah, if you don't use the strat I use, or if you're really low health and you just can't even do the strat I use, you may just end up accidentally shooting the Moldorm that is too close to you, and then the bomb hits you, and then you lose 2 hearts, and usually you're a little low on health, so you just die immediately, and that's just really unfortunate.
So coming up here, this is also just again an instance of where we're doing a lot of dashing and maneuvering. We have a room coming up here where we kind of position and time things with this enemy to kill those 2 Wizrobes as quick as possible. There's actually 2 patterns in that room.
One of them I don't know, so we're lucky.
It's there's a fast way, a slow way, and then a really fast way. But the really fast way is kind of mind-bending, and I just kind of let my fingers do it. I try my best not to even think about it, because if I think about it, it doesn't work.
It's part of the tech I need to learn to get really consistent to go get those 30 seconds I need for potential world record.
So coming up here is a boss called Smasher, or mini boss rather, and we'll see if EDL can get this ball before Smasher. No, sadly. So
I've been messing it up recently.
Yeah, there's if you're timing, I still don't quite understand if it's. I think it's a combination of timing and mashing the A button fast enough, or at least at the right
or
time.
3 frames window.
Yeah, you can actually grab that ball first, and it saves a good bit of time. It's actually easy with, I say easy, it's easier with Piece of Power, but since we just rounded that in D5.
Oh, I'm gonna grab the arrow here.
I just wanted to jump in real quick to say that we have now raised $73,000 for Malala Fund, which is amazing. Yay. We are flying towards that bonus game, which is the Elden Ring Any Percent Run.
That is so amazing.
That is fun. Elden Ring. I've heard that game is popular.
Is it? I didn't catch that because I was really stressed out and distracted by Trico. Is it any percent Elden Ring?
It is.
I heard that's pretty wild. So you probably want to see that.
Probably so. I mean, I want to see as much GDQ as possible. So right now we're just mainly collecting a combination of the small keys to get up to the boss key. And earlier in the dungeon we picked up the level 2 power bracelet, which so in this room, if you've ever been frustrated, if you play this game and you've been frustrated with those chess pieces, you can actually just watch back the VOD and do what EDL did in that room. You can get those chess pieces to line up in the right place the first time. Because otherwise you just have to sit there and kind of play around till the game decides that puzzle is solved.
They actually, they follow a pattern just like chess pieces. Kinda.
Kind of.
Not quite, they're very similar. And there's tiles on the floor to help you line it up. But obviously that's not what we do. We kind of bounce them on the wall. It's just a tiny bit faster than breaking the pots to use the proper pattern.
You also may have noticed in that previous room, we killed all 3 of those Pols voices by playing the ocarina. And that's actually a callback to Zelda 1, where you could kill the Pols voices. And in the English version, it was with the flute, I believe. And then I think in the Japanese version, you could blow into the Famicom controller, I believe.
I think it was screaming in the microphone of the Player 2 controller.
Yeah, something like that. So was a fun little Easter egg they put in this game, which is fortunately very good because it's a lot faster. Because I actually don't even know how to kill those without throwing pots at them. I guess bombs. I have no idea.
Bombs one-shot them. You need 4 arrows or 4 magic rod shots. They're weird. They're very strange.
EDL going for the trick shot there. If you actually get sucked,
You don't want to mess that up. You don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. I think it sends you back to the start of the dungeon.
Yes, it sends you back to the entrance if she gets sucked in.
But we gotta go for that swag. So we're gonna give EDL a bit of quiet time on this boss. This is Facade, who is probably one of the hardest bosses in the game just because of timing. So we'll give EDL some concentration here. Excellent. That was a really good fight.
But that was an okay backup.
Yeah, that was a really good fight. Yeah, that boss is... the first half isn't too bad. It's still difficult. But the last 3 shots we use bomb arrows for. And...
yeah, you need to manipulate the tiles that he's throwing at you to line up with him, and then you shoot them midair. It's hard to learn.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things that it looks easy because EDL made it look easy, but it's
not easy. Sometimes I really mess it up myself. No, it's absolutely not.
I've ended many runs on that fight. So our owl friend is coming to tell us where to go next. Another trope in Zelda games, Ocarina of Time was not the first Zelda game to have an owl come in to help you. It actually was this game. It's actually interesting. I believe it was either Miyamoto or Aonuma who...
I have to say, I mean, it's not super important. I have to tell Munchies I'm really sorry. We're not going to see floor report on those at all.
Oh.
Because we're saving Marin.
I'm not even sure what that is.
Florp is the name I give to the rooster. But since we finished Dungeon 7 before 8, because we're saving Marin, then we don't have Rooster for the Turtle Rock fight. Therefore, no Florp on those.
Gotcha. I call the rooster Knuckles, which is a reference to the Sonic Boom video game, and I will leave that to your imagination.
Flying mazes are really rough to do optimally without messing up.
Yeah,
it's always the same thing. But any small difference of movement, the enemies are gonna move differently, and then since we do a few loops, when you come back, they're not at the same locations, and it can really trip you up.
This is objectively the best song in the game, but also maybe a good time for donations.
Donations can go after the song too.
Yeah. Actually, good time for a lot of donations. See, it's so good.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
That is great. Okay, so I have lots of donations here. So much love for this run. From Ethereal Mist, we have $500. It says, I'm a little late, but who's Zelda? Save Marin.
See?
We also have...
Who's
Zelda? Sorry, continue.
That's okay. We also have $25 from Katara. I just love you guys. Also, trans rights.
Trans rights.
We also have a $150 donation from Anonymous. Reads, you gotta pet the dog. So we do have some additional incentives and bid wars open. If you would like to see the goodest doggo, Cerberus, get a pat in Hades, that incentive is currently sitting at 805 of the 2,000 required to meet that incentive and give Cerberus a pat. We also have 2 bid wars open right now. We have Pokemon Legends Arceus, named the main character. Trans Rights is currently winning with $125, and Arceus and Bidoof are tied for second. We also have that Phantasy Star 4 Profound Disorder. Choose the party members.
Alright, so what happened is we performed necromancy using the song that we found to revive a dead rooster that can fly. The rooster is very derpy, but also very fabulous with the rainbow wings.
This game makes a ton of sense. Also, you may have noticed we got the frog song from Wart from Mario Brothers 2. So if you ever wondered what happened to Wart after Mario Brothers 2, he went inside of the Windfish's dream and started a band.
And then he went on tour.
Yeah, and which seems like a good thing to do, you know, as a former Mario boss.
I mean, it's definitely less destructive.
So this game is actually the rooster is actually incredibly broken. To kind of an insane degree, and in an 80% run, it's one of our main methods of glitching in a later part of the game. I jumped there, and
it's weird because I never do that jump normally, but since we don't have we don't get the warp before Legend 7, so I don't have to equip the shovels, so I can equip Hookshot earlier.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I was like it doesn't usually do that jump. But yeah, unfortunately we don't get to see any of the rooster shenanigans and
but he hangs out with us for a bit.
He does, and he is adorable. So, you know, we love our rooster friend.
He hangs out with us a bit longer if we don't save Marin, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. He goes and hangs out with Luigi after.
Yeah, that we're not gonna see, but yeah, he's fine. He's having fun.
Yeah, you can live with the comfort in your heart that that he's being taken care of by Luigi. Maybe a good time for a couple more donations if we have them.
Absolutely. We have $100 from Anonymous, no comment, but thank you so much for the donation. We also have a $10 donation from Jeremy, which just says less than 3. We also have a $25 donation from Char Bunny. There was a cutscene with multiple bunnies, and you know what? Those bunnies would save Marin. So let's do that.
We're gonna do that. The bunnies are actually adorable too. We really love Animal Village. During that cutscene there's a toucan, and there's a bear, and there's a bunch of bunnies. It's great.
There's actually 2 places that you can have that cutscene happen. One in Animal Village and one in Maid Village. But I always do it in Animal Village because, yeah, then you get to see all the animals. So this is
actually technically, if you know some glitches, you could also do it in Madame Meow Meow's house. I will not go into details how you do that, but it looks very funny. Link is like out of bounds beyond the border of the door. It's really funny.
That is funny. So this is Dungeon 7, or Eagle's Tower. I am not going to try to pronounce the German name. And kind of the main gimmick of this dungeon is we are babysitting this giant metal cannonball throughout the dungeon, and we're using it to destroy 4 of these giant pillars. And what that does is the very top floor of the dungeon, where the boss is at, is we're not able to access it. So by destroying those 4 pillars, we send the top floor down to the floor underneath it, and we're able to get to the boss. So that's kind of the main gimmick going forward. And
this dungeon is extremely confusing casually. I messed up the strat with the bomb. It's okay.
Oh. I always forget that strat's there. I don't use that strat. That's actually one of the neat things about this category as well, is there are actually several different like little routing modifications that you can make that don't. I'm sure technically one is faster than another, but like it's so insignificant, you're able to go with what works best for you.
I would say that up until literal world record potential, your preferences are better than anything.
Yeah. So that's actually
that, you not really.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually just one of the more one of the more flexible runs, I think, in terms of that. So we just got the mirror shield. Again, not actually that wasn't Link to the Past. Actually, I can't say this was the first game that had mirror shield.
Mirror shield in this game is mostly pointless. It's a little less pointless than this one because they added functionalities to it. But it's essentially a glorified key.
See, you're going for the hard strat. I am still bad at this. Nice.
So I killed all of them before they did anything. Normally they dive bomb you or something. But we found out that they dodge and then they have like they have a cooldown on that little dodge that they do. So if you hit them immediately after, you can kill them.
Yeah. We used to do that fight where we would just stand in the corner and just slash our sword. But I had a joke that I would do.
It was the running gag that it's the hardest fight in the game, and then with this strat, it's actually really hard for real. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I always had a joke where I would close my eyes to do the fight, and I can't do that anymore. It's actually got a little bit of difficulty now. It's always fun little optimizations like that. So this is the most broken enemy in the game. That Hinox there.
And then we just say hello and leave.
Yeah, we don't mess with him in glitchless. We're just like, nope.
I think we could be good for some donations if you have more.
Yeah.
I would love to read a few donations, but first I would like to remind everyone why we are here. Your donations for this event are benefiting Malala Fund. Malala Fund is working for a world where every girl can learn and lead. With more than 130 million girls out of school today, Malala Fund partners with education advocates and activists who are breaking down barriers that hold girls back. So with that, we have a bunch more donations coming in. We have $25 from Anonymous, no comment, but thank you so much. We also have $25 from Bookworm42. No comment, but thank you so much as well. Thank you all for all your generous donations.
Awesome.
Okay, coming up here is the fight where we talk about needing arrows and stuff. Now, the fun part is we only have 14 arrows. That's kind of a normal number when you take the Save Marin route. And we don't have enough. So I can use 7. But we're probably going to lose a tiny bit of time here. The fun part though is we're guaranteed to have more than enough arrows to maybe go for some triple shots on the final boss.
Ooh, that'd be fun. So normally, nice fourth shot there. Excuse me. normally what we do
Oh, I
is
shot
when
one
we...
too many.
Uh-oh. You'll be alright. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Normally we, after we destroy that 4th pillar, we actually leave this dungeon, and we go to Dungeon 8, which is Turtle Rock. And the reason we do that is because we are able to skip a cutscene where you save this person named Marin? I don't know. I think we've seen her a couple times in the run. But since everyone generously donated, we're clearing this dungeon first, and we're going to go save Marin.
Yeah, the saving the Marin. Yeah, words. Saving Marin is coming up, so if you wanted to see it, don't go anywhere. It's really coming out really soon. We're traversing this cave here, and then we're not entering another sub-map. We're gonna save her. So on this overworld stretch here, is where we're gonna do that.
And also, we didn't glitch falling down that hole. We just hold the down button. Here she is! Marin! Oh, she looks so scared. Save her, EDL. You did it!
We saved Marin, chat.
We saved Marin!
Yay! Good job, everyone.
So yeah, normally what happens is, since we do Dungeon 7 last, well, not quite last, but after Dungeon 8, we never go through this bit, so we just leave her on the bridge because we never go there anymore.
Yeah.
This is much better, obviously.
See, we did not leave her to just stay up there for the rest of the game. So thank you everyone so much for donating for that.
And then there's more differences that are unique to this route. Namely, when we're gonna finish the 8th dungeon, well, we're not going back to Dungeon 7, right? We're going back to Dungeon 4. So that's gonna be interesting too.
That will be. This might be a good time for a few more donations.
We might die here.
Absolutely. Don't die, though.
I might.
And then we have an anonymous $25 donation. No comment, but thank you so much for that. We also have another $25 donation from MacMob. No comment, but thank you so much. We also have a $25 donation from Skiles. Am I donating for the Hades Shadow Box? Maybe, but I'm also donating for Malala Fund. Yes. Thank you so much for that donation. Yeah, and those $25 donations make all of you eligible for all of today's prizes, which is very exciting, and it's all going to a great cause. Thank you so much, everyone.
Remember you're missing an arrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna probably save that in the dungeon somewhere. Oh, I need to save another. Good. I'm probably gonna just do that on the last one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
There we go.
I need to save another one, but
Just don't take damage.
yeah, the boss can one-shot me right now. It's not safe. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, you probably noticed we've been skipping a lot of heart containers. I do not recommend that, for this boss. You probably want a lot more hearts than we have. There we go. That's actually a really fun fight once you kind of learn how to do it, but sometimes it can trip you up. We got the quick kill on Vire there. So this is Turtle Rock, which you may recognize the name from in Link to the Past, and kind of similar theming here with with kind of the ice and fire, we will mainly just see fire, but there are some little ice segments that we'll end up seeing. One of the main gimmicks for this dungeon is this little roller thing. I forget the official name, but
the rock that rolls. That's the official name.
Okay.
It's
a good name.
Yeah.
I usually just call it a cake because I have a friend who calls it that.
A lot of people in the community like to call it a Roomba.
Ah, yes. the lava Roomba. But yeah, again, normally this dungeon's like a little bit interesting now since we did a little bit of a different route, because normally we are being very protective of our arrows, which we still are to a degree. There we go. And mainly we just need to make sure you have enough arrows to...
I just don't want to miss. That's the one.
Yeah. That shot is very easy to miss. Like, you think you'll be lined up and you aren't.
Well, when you're trying to go really fast, you just you jump up, you shoot and immediately go. You may not be lined up sometimes.
So here we're gonna grab some small keys. Might be a good time for a donation or two.
I would like to take a really quick moment to talk about the Yeti. Chat, have you had a chance to check out the shirts, stickers, and pins that are available for this week only? The Yeti is one of our sponsors for Flame Fatales 2022, with over 2 million donated to GDQ charities. They create amazing merch, apparel, and vinyl for video games and pop culture. $5 from every shirt and $4 from every pin and sticker will be donated directly to Malala Fund. You can find the event merch and more at www.theyeti.com.
Can you keep
I'd
the
also like to point out
for after this boss? Or just continue after the boss, that'd be cool. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I really messed that up. Okay, go. Continue.
No problem at all. I'd also like to mention that we are now halfway to the Pet Cerberus incentive. So let's give the goodest doggo pats, chat. We also have $25 from Marin's biggest fan. It says, drowsy walrus noises. I don't know. I think I'm going to need maybe another donation from chat to clarify exactly what that sounds like.
I am curious what that sounds like too. Awesome. So that mini boss that EDL beat back there is Blano, who, if you're like me when you were a kid and you played the original version of this game, you thought it was a penguin. I think a lot of people thought that Blano was a penguin, and then
I always thought it was penguin.
It was what?
I always thought it was a penguin.
Yeah, I always thought it was a penguin, and then the remake came out, and apparently he's not a penguin, and apparently there's actually original art of him that shows he's not a penguin. But in my defense, in all of our defense, the official Japanese manga for Link's Awakening also depicts him as a penguin. So, well, you've got an even faster strat to do that than me. Nice. I'll have to steal that later. But here we have some ice. In the original version of this game, that ice is very annoying, but fortunately it's easier here. But we'll let EDL concentrate on this fight. It's a little bit hard.
The timing is precise to get the stun knock properly.
Yeah, that fight is like... If you keep it...
The head boss on the Xbox on its eyes really extends really far to the side, so you can... It's very easy to just clink the arrow and not hit.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
Also, the Roomba puzzle here. I think it's like pretty much any pattern is
This
about the same
puzzle has
amount
like
of time.
20. It's the exact same time. This puzzle has like 22 solutions
Yep.
or something.
So we all just kind of do whatever is most comfortable. I just always do the one that I did as a kid. So it's kind of nice to be able to keep doing that. So we got the boss key, and we're going to go beat the next to final regular boss before the final boss. That sentence made sense. And we burned that poor Goomba.
Yeah, the fire rod projectile just like linger way longer, like a whole second or something after the animation is over, and they still hit whatever touches it, including the boss. It can be useful for the boss if you shoot a little too early.
Yeah, we'll let EDL concentrate on this boss here a bit.
Ah. Come on. There we go.
There we go. Hothead was being mean there. Again, it's one of those fights that like it can go really smoothly and really easily, but if you kind of lose control, it can spiral really quickly, and then you lose a lot of time. So this is one of those dungeons that's like, if everything goes smoothly, it's usually pretty quick, but if you kind of make one mistake somewhere, it can just easily spiral and you lose like a minute, and then you're sad. So we got one more instrument we're going to get, so we're going to go back to Dungeon 4. So maybe a good time for maybe 2 donations?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have an anonymous $150 donation. It says, "Let's go." We also have a $10 donation from Siren. "I've been watching GDQ events since 2012, and I've never been able to donate until now. I'm really happy to support such a good cause, and good luck to all the runners. Thank you so much for your donations."
All right. So when we get into this dungeon here, we're going to do something a little bit interesting. If you've played this game before, you know there's a puzzle in this dungeon where you have to light up some tiles in a specific order, and you find out the solution to that puzzle in another area in the dungeon. Now, we haven't seen the solution to that puzzle, but we're going to solve that puzzle. You may be wondering, how do we know the solution to this puzzle? It's supposed to be completely randomized every time you start the game up. Well, we cheat a little bit. Again, not a glitch.
If you looked properly, like at the very start, you may have noticed my file already existed. I didn't have to create one. That is totally valid per the rules. So, yeah, essentially we know the supposed RNG things ahead of time because we just use the same file all the time.
Yep. And we're actually able to time things where we are able to pick a particular RNG seed that works fast for us. Alright, I gotta do the reading here. We gotta do it here. Blubber blubber, blub blub blub. Fudder, blub, blubber blubber blubber. Piranha killer. There we go. This is the best boss name in the game, Piranha Killer. It just sounds so cool. And pretty straightforward fight in theory. You just hit the boss a lot, ideally with sword spins facing towards the boss. It can actually be really difficult though, and I actually have a lot of trouble with that boss. That one I need to practice a lot more.
I sometimes get trouble with it. It takes a lot of practice. Fortunately, this boss is very scripted if you do exactly the same thing every time.
That was an
So-
amazing rendition. Can we get some blubs in chat for that?
Yes. A reference back to TGH, who runs this game, and or has in the past rather, and
Well,
he
still holds
always
the
had
world
an
record.
excellent at reading that. Yeah, he still has the world record. But he always just does a wonderful reading of that. So we are going to the final boss. It's actually tricky now. Right after D4, we have to make sure we only go to this warp. If we go to any other warp, the ghost will start following us, and
then we can't enter the egg anymore.
yeah.
And it loses 2 minutes.
Yeah. So we got a lot of little cutscene here. So if you got a good number of donations, you can go for it.
Absolutely. We have $50 from Anonymous, no comment. We have $25 from Anonymous, no comment. We have another $50 from Anonymous, no comment. Anonymous, you are very generous. Thank you for your donations to Malala Fund.
No comment seems like a very popular comment. So we've collected all the instruments now, and now we play the Ballad of the Windfish, which actually is probably one of the best songs in the game. Other than maybe the end credits might be better, but you know, it's subjective.
There's a fun thing with this song is you can play this song here at any point, and it will play with just the instruments that you have. And it's really, really interesting that they took the time to do that.
Yeah. So if you're playing casually and you just want to, see what it's like, you can kind of see how what it sounds like to have, each instrument added and kind of fills out the ensemble. I don't know music terms. So now we enter the egg. Now I notice when we get in here, it's really dark. We can't see really well. And normally you are supposed to do the big long trading quest that we haven't bothered with since Kiki the Monkey. And at the end of the trading quest, we're able to find the solution for the maze inside the egg, and it lights up in here when you do that. So like Dungeon 4, where we solve the puzzle by just knowing it from our pre-made save file, where we know the RNG, it's the same situation in the egg here. We know what the solution is ahead of time, so we don't have to do any of the trading quests to find that out. So this is Nightmare. This is the final boss, and they have a lot of different forms. So first form is the slime here, or the gel, and you just throw some powder at it. And then we have our good friend Aghanim here from Link to the Past. And I'm gonna mute my audio here for a second.
That's 2.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
That's the background noise. So in this fight, there's it's RNG on whether or not you get a red fireball or a blue fireball, and only the red fireballs can be bounced back. And there's a certain pattern to how you can kind of measure what ends up being the number of fireballs you get. So then we fight Ganon.
I hope
which
you didn't
EDL got the
blink.
quick kill for. Yeah, that was a really good Ganon. And then we have what the game calls Landmola? It doesn't look like Landmola. And then we get the true final boss here, who's Death-Eye. Or if you're like me as a kid and you call him Deathel incorrectly. And EDL just got 2 triple shots, which
No, I
is...
missed the first one.
Oh, did you miss the first one? I thought it went in. Which is very difficult in this boss. But if you're able to do it, it does save time.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
time
get
will
two.
be...
Time will be at
time
the
will
top
be
of the
coming-
staircase when it fades to black. Just after the little dialogue here. And time.
Nice! And that is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, glitchless.
I am very curious what is our time, because there was a few mistakes along with the different route.
Let's see. It looks like, hold on, I'm just waiting for the animation. 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 53 seconds.
That is not awful. I'm pretty
that's not
happy
bad.
with that for how horribly nervous and how sweaty my controllers are now, because I'm way too nervous. Pretty happy with that. That is basically I didn't want it to be any slower than this. So I practiced a lot, and I'm glad that despite all the really costly mistakes, I did keep it within that range.
I had a great time with it. I think it's a great run.
Oh, I had a blast too. Absolutely, that was a fantastic experience. Yeah. I don't know if we can let the credits play, even though it is a tradition in the community. It's kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and still like say bye to everyone. But yeah, I'm EDL. You can follow me on Twitch if you want. Same name. And I play a lot of Link's Awakening, as you can imagine. I've been playing this game ever since it came out. Every week, at least 4 times. I will probably continue to do that. Unfortunately, I'm taking a break from speedruns for approximately a month. I will be doing adjacent to speedrun stuff, like I'll be exploring new tech and routing new tricks, so experimental stuff. I'll also be playing the new randomizer. Yes, Switch randomizer. That's something cool. And yeah, if you're interested also in the speedrun, feel free to check out the speedrun.com page. We have a link for the Discord server. We'll be more than happy to give you tips and tricks. Glitches is very approachable for beginners. I'll be more than happy to help people, even if I'm taking a break from runs for a bit. And yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, we have a great community, and
If you want to shout out some people, Meeks, you can do that too.
yeah. First of all, I'm SwordyMeeks on Twitch and Twitter. If you just want to drop me a follow, I'm actually probably going to be doing a bit of a brand change in the next week or so. But you can always look for the name Swordy, and you should find that. Yeah, shout out to EDL. You have been a huge inspiration for me continuing to run this game and to look up to, and I hope to meet you and surpass you on the leaderboard.
I wish you good luck. I will take a long break from glitches. It's your time to get past me. I will more than happy try to coach you again if the opportunity is there.
But yeah, no, just shout outs to the community, as everyone. We have so many amazing community members who are just very friendly, and yeah, it's a really great speedrun and a really great community. So
Okay, that's it for me. I can go. I hope everybody enjoyed this run. This game is lovely. Thank you so much for donating to such a great cause. Bye.
Great job on the run, EDL. You made it look easy. Can we get another round of GG's in chat for EDL666? Thank you so much for saving Marin. I would also like to announce that we have just hit $74,000 raised for Malala Fund. That means we're only $6,000 away from the bonus game, which is the Elden Ring Any Percent. I don't know about you, chat, but I want more Flame Fatales. We also have a few donations here. We have a $250 donation from Anonymous. No comment is the comment. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for your generosity. We also have a $10 donation from Aqua Magicist. Whew, that one was hard. In 2020, on my birthday, my girlfriend planned a huge day of events, but it was raining and also the plague. So I got her Hades and we sat around playing together literally all day. Still one of the best birthdays I've had. Anyway, Hades is good. Here's some money. You know what else is good? Cerberus is good. So if you would like to get in on giving Cerberus a very fine pat, get those donations in. Choose that incentive when you're donating. We're currently sitting at $1,083 of $2,000 needed to give Cerberus, the goodest boy, a pat. We also have $30 from Ebert. No comment, but thank you so much. We also have $25 from Captured Bird. Games, fast, yes. And that's it for me this evening. We're going to take a quick break, so grab a drink, have a stretch, and stay tuned for more Flame Fatales 2022.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Flame Fatales 2022. I hope you've all been having an incredible evening, time zone, wherever you are. My name is Lana Ruse, and I am back to be your host for another series of runs tonight. We have such an incredible lineup for you for the next few blocks, so let's check in on some of our incentives to see what we're up to, all right? All right, let's do it. So the big one for tonight that we are absolutely pushing for is that we really want to pet Cerberus. So we have the Dust Run right after this, but Hades comes right after that. And if we're going to pet Cerberus, we need to hit $2,000. So right now we're sitting at $1,243, which means that we are just about $700 away from being able to pet the best boy of Hades. Listen, I know y'all want to see it, so let's really push for that donation, all right? We have $25 from Aneka, who says, I want to see that Elden Ring run. Also, pet the dog. Listen, I agree with all of the above. Have you heard about our Elden Ring run tonight? Listen, it is one of the hottest games of the year. And listen, it's Flame Fatales. So if we want to see hot runs, we are also going to want to hit our milestone for tonight. So our milestone is set at $80,000. So once we hit $80,000, that unlocks our bonus game, Elden Ring Any Percent, and you will absolutely not want to miss that. So not only can you put your donation specifically towards petting Cerberus tonight, every single one of those donations will also go to our grand total of $80,000 so that we can see Elden Ring tonight as well. So make sure that you are assigning your donations to incentives so that we can see them rolling in. And we're going to have so many games for you tonight. It'll be incredible. We have $25 from Redacted, who says, all the pets for Cerberus, excited for the Hades run. Same here, same here. We also have $25 from Avi, who says, for Malala Fund, for more Flame Fatales. Agreed. Thank you so much for all of your donations. All right, we are all ready for our next run of the evening. Up next, we have Dust and Elysian Tale, Any Percent Warps, featuring Aggie the Aeron. Take it away.